Welcome back on the streets again. Want to welcome all the new subscribers. Hope I don't disappoint you guys. Certainly the streets don't disappoint me. The people out there are the stars. It's not me. People I run into. Especially this woman and her family. This woman almost lost a couple of her kids to vaccines, and now she's a crusader. And apparently she's got her kids on board too, doing they're activists also. But she's got a harrowing story to tell about an interview she did with Fox News on vaccines and what happened to her. And it didn't scare her. This is what I love about this. This woman she didn't back off. She's still out there trying to make people aware and fighting the good fight. These are heroes. These are real heroes, these people. People that get intimidated by the powers that be, that won't back down. Warriors, I love them. I love them. So you know what you do if you love them too. You're gonna like this video. You're gonna share it. And you're gonna spread it around, and you're gonna make other people aware too, right? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna support those of us that are out there on the streets. Just stay out there and keep finding people like this, the real heroes. And so if you can, subscribe, like, share, and support. That is the name of the game. The images you're seeing that are mine. And you can get a lot of these designs on apparel. And I really appreciate it when people do go get my work and wear it out, because it does spread the awareness. Images are everything. A picture speaks 1,000 words. So, and if for those of you that want to become regular subscribers, I do ask that if you can go to my PayPal account and chip in $5 a month to keep me out there. Because I do an outdoor gig, I'm at the mercy of the environment. So there are a lot of times I can't get out there, and it does hurt my my ability to to keep this whole thing going. So I got to count on you guys to fill in the blanks there. So Badass Uncle Sam 76 at Gmail is my PayPal. I still got my Patreon and GoFundMe up, but I'm getting out of them, so I'd like it if you do the PayPal. So God bless you all. Thank you for coming on board. Thank my longtime followers, subscribers for sticking with me, and I'm going to be out there as long as God gives me the strength to do it. So, and you guys give me the support to do it. So it's a twofold thing. It's God and you guys, okay? So here we go. Without further ado, let's get on the streets.
These 3 buildings.
Oh, you are aware, aren't you? Yeah, I would listen to her if I were you.
It's all right. Here, will you take?
Are you really? Wonderful. Terrific. Well, that you've raised them well.
All right. Can I get a picture?
Oh, sure,
yeah.
sure.
Oh, bless you. All right.
So you're familiar. So you know about 9/11, and you're familiar with the vaccines. My God, this is wonderful.
Yeah. Can't make a full. Oh, yeah. Are we all in? Should we get her? Okay. Oh yeah. We don't. I nearly lost my kids to vaccines.
What, you did what?
I nearly lost my kids to vaccines.
Really?
And I had a stroke within 20 minutes of a tetanus shot.
I didn't get the vaccine.
Jeez, that's a hard way to find out about them.
It is. And I didn't trust him anyway. But I still,
Well, I have an autoimmune disorder.
did it for a while. She was Boy, I wish I had a card with me. I used to have cards that I could. I don't have a website. I just send people to the National Vaccine Information Center or.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, here's one of my cards. It's on the back of this get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton, and yeah. So I am so happy. So where do you normally get your information from now? What do you? You know you can't get it off of these guys. They're not telling you the truth.
And well, I could go on forever with this.
Please do.
Because a friend of mine's with Fox and in Houston, more specifically. And they did get us on the air. I did an interview with ABC World News Tonight, 2003, and they spent 2.5 hours in my InfoWars. I spent 2.5 hours in my home with them. And we've done several interviews, but a helicopter flew over at exactly 2 o'clock. Barbara Fisher asked me to interview with them at 2, and I spoke with her around 10 that morning, whatever, when they, said, you do it too. Oh, great. And so she said, just stick to, you know this stuff, stick to whatever. I just needed a rah-rah go-team conversation, And then 2 o'clock rolls around, and you would think my trees were going to blow over. And I'm talking to a friend, and I'm talking that everything's going crazy outside, and then they're set up to go. But I'm talking to a friend on the phone, and there's a high-pitched, modem, comes over the phone. And my friend said, what's that? We could barely hear each other, and then it went off afterwards. And so we were doing a phone landline interview. They were hooking up with Fox through the landline. It went down. Then the cameraman said, that's okay, wait, we can get this. Who was it? Brian, I'm trying to think of who was interviewing me, the medical correspondent at the time. And we were really pushing it because this was supposed to be on at 5 or 6, whatever.
Yeah, right.
5:30, 6 o'clock news. And he, so we, sorry. And they're doing an RSV trial right now. Anyway, long story short, line went down. They did an interview via cell phone. The cameraman would ask me
what kind of helicopter?
And this is, I wish I was inside. No one. My neighbors came out and said, well, now I know things are, because they're all on the fence, or they were not rude to me, but we're French, right? So nobody really, but I said, you're going to start listening? Because at 2 o'clock my line went down, and it did not come back up.
And you think it was all because you were exposing vaccines?
At 2 o'clock, yeah. Because my story, my grandfather, I didn't say this on that interview, but my grandfather's a past president of the Texas Medical Association. And I had a long line of doctors in the family who were also politically active. But not on, and they would have been, if they were still alive, I'm sure they would have been fighting this. I really believe that my father's dead because of his military vaccines. He died when I was 3. But I had to go back and look at as much information as I get my hands on. His heart turned to mush, as the doctors would say. Just turned to mush. But the interesting thing about that interview, it aired. Then Barbara Fisher noticed, I've never had an interview not make the internet. They are not putting your interview on the internet. It aired, it went up, it went down. They copyrighted it, they sent it to Vanderbilt Medical School.
What do you think is behind?
And I have twins who reacted identically at the same time at 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, 12 months, 18. Oh, population control at the very least. Full domination. Yes, sir.
Damn, you are aware.
Yeah.
And you're an InfoWar listener?
And I read about it.
Oh, God bless you. Thank you very much. You're very kind.
Interrupting pictures.
Yes.
Right. Anyway, so, it's a lot. Oh, there's a lot more to it than that. But we fought for the criminal conscience exemption in Texas and at the Capitol, and things really got weird. Then I had unmarked white vans in front of my house. And then, because it all happened very quickly. I mean, it's just a lot.
Wow.
Any articles I posted came down off the internet. I'm getting ready to write another one. I'm kind of coming here for inspiration.
Well, thank you. You've inspired me. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And my dad trained at Duke. Then he went straight over to Barksdale Air Force Base. This is where my parents used to come for fun on the weekend. If he got a break. And
I call it the home of the alcoholic Peter Pans.
Yeah. Yeah. So they would come from Barksdale if they needed a little weekend trip. If he got a break. But he was an OB-GYN. He delivered an average of 1 to 2 babies a day. It was crazy. It was baby boom time and all that in Korea, and that little.
Now all the vaccines that they inject into the newborns are coming right out.
So I sat in a lecture at Texas A&M University, my biomed degree, when I was working on pre-med, and where someone came in and spoke of how great it will be to get our vaccines in our salads. And I just remember thinking, and the Holy Grail, which was going to be a 20-in-1 round, given it, young. They didn't really say newborn, but I know now that's what they were talking about. So you won't even have to worry. If we have it in our food, then we won't have to worry about all those people who are refusing vaccines these days. They're just afraid of needles. Well, at that point in time, I wasn't there. I looked around the room and thought, though, am I the only one that's disturbed by this? Because everyone's, yeah. My professor said, and I respected him at the time, but he said, the only people who aren't vaccinating their children are more concerned about saving a few pennies than their own child's life. They're just total religious fanatics. Anyway, it did strike me, and I thought I would remember that. But I had children it was 8 more years before I had kids, and that one though, the Hep B, she's better at it, but she's covered head to toe and itchy spots and scratched herself until she bled, so she had a mast cell disorder after that.
You have to put the minutes on your phone.
So and then the 4th child, he's with us around here somewhere. One's supposed to be vaccinated, and they came in and gave him 1 in each leg against my. I wish I'd thought to put UD after that. I thought later, I didn't know enough about that. I thought I should have signed at least UD, because they would, after they did it, well, if you don't, this is the little ploy they would use, if you don't sign, it's going to be as if it never happened. That got me, and I signed. And I left there like, there's all those things.
They trick you.
They trick you over and over again, again. Anyway, so no more. No, but I'm all over that stuff, and
thank God for your awareness and making other people aware.
Yeah, I hear they're getting somewhere with that.
Yeah, there's some lawyers that, and this about a month ago I heard, that are filing for a new case on the investigation of the building number 7. I haven't heard anything about it since, and that's another thing that disturbs me. I mean, and then you've got the other day where the alleged hackers, said they were, going to expose everything. This stuff comes out in the news and then fades away. You don't hear anything about it anymore.
Don't. My friend with Fox, who's really, her husband's high up, and they got us an interview on Gardasil. Actually got us 3 or 4 bad situations, but they wouldn't put it out once they got the interview.
Well, that's one thing about Fox, though, is half their commercials are pharmaceutical.
They are, and I try to explain that. See, my grandfather would go testify to the fact that everyone focuses in the news, they focus on, people are going to write more prescriptions because that direct-to-consumer, people aren't going to, no, that's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is they own the media.
Right.
The advertising they then take over, and they take over for other companies that aren't pharmaceutical, that would have had a spot. They own the media. $4.5 billion a year is nothing to them.
Right.
For media, which people can't get.
Right.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I'll go on forever.
Oh, God bless you. Please do, yes.
Thank you. All right.
You didn't see this.